There are 3 checkpoints that you absolutely must pass in order to manifest your dream. Will you pass these checkpoints with flying colors? Well, let's go ahead and jump into today's Law of Attraction video and find out. All right, so there are really only 3 things that are standing in the way of your manifestation. And the first one is one that we often hear a lot about when it comes to dating, but it applies to anything that you want to manifest. And it is to uphold your standards. Uphold your standards. You don't hear a lot about this from Law of Attraction teachers, okay? But this is something that's very critical for you to manifest the things that you actually want to manifest. One thing that is super, super common is that people will put out a dream that they want, and then something kind of like it shows up, but it doesn't quite meet the standard, and the person accepts it even though it's not what they want. Now, this ties in a lot with having specificity, knowing exactly what you want and what your deal breakers are. What are the things that are important for you to have within this manifestation? So let me give you an example. Now, there was a time years ago when I was learning about the Law of Attraction that I wanted to manifest friends. I wanted to manifest some new friends, but I had very vague definitions of what it is that I wanted. I just wanted friends. I didn't think about deal breakers. I didn't think about standards. And so I started to attract some friends to me. But if they had things that weren't up to my inner standards, I would just accept them. And then the friendships didn't end up being what I wanted. Okay, so for example, maybe somebody came into my life and they gossiped a lot. They had a lot of really negative things to say. Well, for me personally, especially because I understand about the Law of Attraction, that's not really a behavior that's up to my standards. It's not really what I want. And so understanding this now, if I meet somebody and they exhibit those kinds of characteristics, I know, hey, this isn't the right match for me. It's fine. It's just not up to my standard of friendship. But back then I didn't understand that. And so this happens a lot with people where they'll manifest things that are kind of what they want, but because they're not insistent on their standards, they don't get what they really want. The universe is going to give you what you accept. Okay. And so if you accept low standards, very likely that you may manifest something kind of like what you want, but not exactly what you want. Be willing to toss some fish back. So maybe you get a job offer and hey, it's a job, but it's not the job that you want. Toss it back. It's not up to your standards. Maybe you meet somebody, you're trying to date and you meet somebody, it's someone to date, but they're not really up to your standards. Toss them back. Now, this isn't about being mean or unkind. It's about sending a signal to the universe that says, I know I'm worthy of exactly what I want. I've seen this time and time again with myself and with coaching clients. Lots of people that write their comments below in the description about how, they kind of tossed something back and held a higher standard, and then all of a sudden what they really wanted showed up. So be willing to set and maintain high standards. Now, I have a question for you. What is the dream that you really want to manifest? And what are your standards? What is the bar of excellence for you? What do you really need to see? This isn't about being super nitpicky, but it's about understanding your boundaries of what you're willing to accept. Okay, so if you would, take a moment and tell me about this dream that you want to manifest and let me know what is a high standard of excellence that you are going to accept. And again, please go ahead and write that below in the comments because I love hearing your stories. All right, so that is the first thing that stands in the way of your manifestation is having low standards. Now, our next checkpoint that you must cross in order to manifest is that you have to allow yourself to dream for your dream. And it's not just allowing yourself to dream, but allow yourself to really dwell on the idea that you can have it and that it can be yours. So a very common thing that a lot of people do with the Law of Attraction is they have dreams, but in their own mind, they label it as a pipe dream. It's not really going to happen. They don't really think about it happening for them. Rather, it's something just kind of outlandish, and they don't really think it could happen to them. Okay, so I've manifested a particular living situation that falls into this bucket because today I live in the community that I'd wanted to live in for a very, very long time. Okay, very, very long time. But before I manifested the home in this community, I didn't think it was possible, which to me now is kind of laughable because it's just so normal for me to be here. But back then, I didn't think it was possible. In my mind, I was thinking the homes are too expensive, the property taxes are too high, it's gonna be hard for me to sell my home. I'm never gonna get out of this crappy home that I'm in. And I had that kind of mentality that that's where I wanna live, but it's never gonna happen for me. And so something that happened is that eventually I got here, but the first home that I manifested wasn't this home. It was a better home, but it wasn't this home in this community because I didn't allow myself to really dream that I could actually live here. I could afford to live here. I could get here. Everything would work out. It wasn't until I started to really dwell on the idea that I could do that. I could do that. I could manifest that. I could manifest that move. I could get that home. It's not until you start to tell yourself those things that you really come into resonance with your dream. Avoid that trap of looking at your dream as a pipe dream and as something that's never going to happen for you. Because if that's the way you look at it, as a pipe dream, it's always going to stay a pipe dream. All right, we've got another checkpoint here that you have to pass in order to manifest. But first, if you enjoy law of attraction videos that teach you how to manifest the life of your dreams, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And of course, go ahead and turn on the handy notification bell. I put out content like this every single week, and I know you're going to love it. All right, so we're at the next checkpoint, and this one's probably the hardest checkpoint. Probably the hardest checkpoint for some people, particularly if you have a temperament that's kind of like mine or how mine used to be, which is, kind of type A, kind of nervous, kind of worried, kind of stressed. If you have any of that going on, this third checkpoint's the one that you want to get real good at, and you want to get good at it all the time. And this checkpoint is all about being chill, okay? You gotta learn how to relax. Learn how to relax, okay? And here's the thing. You're gonna put a dream out there, okay? And maybe it doesn't come back right away. Or maybe something of a lower standard shows up, okay? Now, if you're not chill, if you're not relaxed, those things are gonna start to stress and worry you. And when you get stressed and worried and frustrated about your dream, you emit a vibration that says, this isn't coming. This isn't working out. This is never going to happen. Okay. And so being nervous, stressed, and worried when you're thinking about your dream pushes it away. It prevents it from coming in. Okay. And so sometimes when we talk about being relaxed, being chill, going with the flow, the way people interpret this, at least the way I used to interpret this, was that I'm just supposed to wait around. I'm supposed to wait around and be okay with waiting. That doesn't feel like the law of attraction. Why do I have to wait, right? Shouldn't it be able to come right away? Well, being chill isn't about waiting, okay? It's not about waiting. It's about getting in resonance for receiving. See, the things that we want show up when we're relaxed. The things that we want show up when we're chill. Okay, that's when they show up. And so we have to become really good at cultivating that state whenever the subject of our dream comes up. All right, so for this checkpoint, super, super important that regardless of what's going on, whether the dream isn't showing up, or if it's showing up and it's got all kinds of low standard stuff, or maybe you're manifesting things that you don't want right now, training yourself to really stay calm and develop this attitude that everything's all right, everything's working out for me, everything's going to be okay, is what will click you back into being able to materialize your dreams quickly. Now, I did another video on this specific checkpoint a few weeks back on The Universe is Testing You. That was the name of the video. And so to really get in depth more with this particular checkpoint, particularly if you're someone who tends to get stressed or worried or nervous, I really do recommend going ahead and checking that video out. And of course, I will go ahead and put a link to that one below in the description. But for a brief explanation, let me just give you an example of something that happened this weekend to me. Okay, so one of the ways that I manifest money is through my work. Okay, so I do sell law of attraction courses and downloads. If you're interested in those, they are beneath in the description. But, I get money that comes in from those. And so sometimes you get lots that come in and sometimes you don't get as many. Okay, and so this weekend I had a day where just nothing was happening, okay? No one was buying anything, all right? People were coming to the website and leaving. No one was interested, okay? Now, when that happens, I like to remind myself about the be chill, okay? Gotta be chill. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be all right. Everything's cool. You know what? I'm relaxed. It's easy. And I take it easier on those days rather than taking it harder. And it's a really amazing thing that whenever I have like a goose egg day, like I'm showing up and there's nothing going on at work, if I can really click into being chill and almost like forgetting about everything else, sometimes I even just take a day off, all of a sudden, sometime in the afternoon, the sales start coming in. Okay. And so this happened to me this weekend where I had this goose egg like all day until about 3 o'clock. And then bam, 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 ton of sales came in after that. Okay. And so this is a really important thing to understand about being chill. That relaxed state is what's going to allow your dream to manifest. Now, if you are new to my work, I would love to invite you to take my Law of Attraction test. If you would like to know for sure that you, yes, you, really are the creator of your reality, I've designed a very simple, very quick 5-minute test where you can prove it to yourself. Put something out and watch it come back. And to take that test now, please go to manifestingtest.com. Again, that is manifestingtest.com. I'll also go ahead and put a link below in the description to that test, but manifestingtest.com is the direct link. Thanks so much for watching today's video on these 3 things that are standing in the way of your manifestation. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. And of course, I look forward to bringing you another one soon. Bye-bye.